Perhaps I'll start with a bit of consensus, and I think everyone agrees we want rail travel to be affordable. We want to encourage more people to use public transport, and for most of us in the room, we want public services to be in public hands and for public good, not for the benefit of private shareholders. We want these things because they bring tangible benefits to people in our society. We need these things because people have to travel and we face a climate crisis. In order to deliver on these shared objectives, we have to make choices based on the evidence available. And the SNP Government moved to nationalise ScotRail. We walked the walk, while others just talk about it in a loop. Too many people felt the service was not delivering as it had been described in private hands, and our public transport was lining the pockets of unaccountable shareholders. That was not a just or sustainable situation. So the SNP Government began a project to deliver a public transport system that is for the benefit of the public and accountable to the taxpayer. People are struggling with the cost of living. That is absolutely true. And that limits the choices available to individuals and families. People who are struggling often do not perceive public transport to be affordable. And that is why the Scottish Government had kept the price rise as low as practicable, while ensuring we can maintain services and continue to invest in infrastructure. Investment that has seen the Borders Railway come back, has seen the Leavenworth infrastructure open up, and has electrified the Airdrie Shotts line, which runs through my constituency. I sympathise greatly with a number of the points made by Green colleagues today. We want many of the same outcomes in this, but we have to demonstrate that this is financially viable, affordable and deliverable. Our ambitions as the SNP and as SNP Government could be fulfilled if we didn't have the restrictions of being in the Union. But we have to live within the parameters that are set by the UK. Remember that removal of peak fares pilot was only possible because the Scottish Government took action to nationalise ScotRail. But it was just that, a pilot, a trial to see how the policy would impact on behaviour. It was successful in respects that it saved Scots hundreds of pounds during times of economic hardship. But the reviews showed that the benefits mainly went to existing rail passengers with medium to higher incomes. And we did not see the 10% increase in passenger numbers that would be required to ensure that the policy itself was economically viable and could continue. Without the policy self-financing, subsidies would cost the public as much as £40 million a year. Sorry, I've only got a short time left. The pilot showed minimal impacts on overall car travel. 0.1% of car journeys moved to rail during the pilot. This was heavily concentrated on the central belt. These numbers simply have to improve to make this project viable and sustainable. So in 2026, the Scottish Government will invest almost £1.5 billion for rail services, rail infrastructure and maintenance of the network. But we also need to see the uptake and increase in passenger numbers, reduce car journeys to make this a viable long-term solution. Thank you, Presiding Officer.